smarter way.
Are you ready, Steve? Andy? Yeah! Well, all right, fellas. Let's go!
You're listening to CFRN, the Christian Financial Radio Network.
Today's broadcast is available. Get a free audiobook download at www.audibletrial.com/CFRN. Over 85,000 titles. Choose from mystery, romance, religion, science, technology, business, New York Times bestsellers, even children's books. You name it, Audible has it. With 85,000 titles to choose from, you're sure to find the perfect book for yourself or absolutely free. Just point your browser to audibletrial.com/CFRN. That's audibletrial.com/CFRN. And become a part of the audiobook revolution by downloading your free audiobook today. audibletrial.com/CFRN.
Hey, trader, want to get rich quick? Well, good luck with that. If, on the other hand, you actually want to learn how to trade, the place to be is www.cfrn.net. Tune in Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. Eastern for our daily devotional, and then spend the next 3 hours learning how it's done from professional traders who actually trade for a living. That's www.cfrn.net. Every trading day from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern. CFRN, a community of believers who trade for a living.
Good afternoon, traders, and welcome back to the CFRN Emini Futures Cast. This is the daily broadcast of Indeterminate Length, where we discuss all things Emini, along with some really big ideas on the finer points of trading gold, bonds, crude, sugar, the euro, and even T-bills. Joining us today from our studios in Boston, Mr. Michael Bork. From our trading desk in Chicago, Mr. Burton Schlichter. Now, to get things started, let's go to our host and founder in Studio A, overlooking South Mountain, America's largest city park. Here's Dwayne.
Hey, good afternoon. Welcome back. Today is Thursday, and it is the 28th day of July, 2016. I'm going to move real quick here at the beginning because Mike's got to go do planes, trains, and automobiles. So let me just give you the numbers. These are the cash markets. This is a show about all things Emini. We know that. However, we start out with cash. Let's see if I can get cash to load. Here comes cash. By the way, automotive industry, worst day in over 5 years. Now, we'll talk about Dow Transports, and we all know that cars are a form of transportation. That's a canary in the coal mine taught to me by the stock whisperer many, many years ago on this radio program. So, we'll talk more about that. Let's go to the Dow, which is down 61 points. NASDAQ is actually up 4. S&P only down 2. The Russell 2000 down 2.25. Okay, our commodity basket. Oil is down 61 cents with predictions that it's going to be below 40 here in the next couple of days. Gold, got a green day. Up $5.60, trading $13.32. I'm perfectly comfortable with gold trading at that number. In the Asian markets, Nikkei down 187 points, just over 1%. Shanghai up 3 points, and the Hang Seng down 44. So nothing major going on anywhere, quite frankly. We had our Fed announcement yesterday. Janet Yellen, she be creeping up on a year on the job. Remember, she raised rates once last December. She hasn't done it since. People are starting to question, is she the person for the job? You know what? Doesn't matter what she did. People would question if she were the person for the job, and time will tell. We'll find out. Meanwhile, 2 million tickets to the Summer Olympics go unsold. Number one, because of the Zika virus, mosquito. And the other is the infrastructure there is so fragile. If they actually sold all those tickets and all those people actually showed up, what they've done, unlike typical Olympic cities over the years, I don't know if you've ever been on the set of like a cowboy movie, where you walk down Main Street and you've got the saloon and the barber shop, but they're not real buildings. If you walk around behind them, there's these boards propping up these storefronts. It makes for an incredible illusion in a movie, but that's sort of what the infrastructure is like where they're holding the Summer Olympics. And so it may be worse. If the greater disaster could be that people buy the tickets and actually go there. So we'll talk about that later in today's show and as the Olympics approach. For now, let's do the quick over to Michael, get a recap of everything that happened in the live trading room today. To any of the folks who came to the open house and followed us on to the radio show today, if this happens to be your first day, Michael is going to show all the charts from this morning. If you want to see them and you aren't logged in yet, go to our homepage, CFRN.net, on the right-hand side. Click the big microphone, follow the instructions. By the time he says howdy, you'll be logged in. You'll be able to see the charts all the way through tomorrow. And then come August 1st, Monday, we all have to register again. Once a month, 30 seconds for 30 days. Michael, great job this morning in the live trading room. My hat is off to you. Hat tip, HT, that's computer geek shorthand, HT, hat tip.
Well, thank you.
Alright, so I'm going to go fill up my coffee cup. My air conditioner guy's here. And I've got my door closed. Does it sound louder? I've got a couple fans going. Are they overwhelming or?
No, not at all.
Beautiful. All right, I'm going to hit mute, fill up my coffee cup, and about time I get back, you'll probably be done.
Okay, sounds good. Here we go. Alright, good afternoon, everyone. Today is Thursday, the 28th day of July, 2016. Partners meeting tonight. Reminder for everyone, partners meeting tonight, 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Okay, I will probably be late, but 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Alright. Today in the soybeans we made 12 ticks profit. In the euro we lost 8, YM we made 8, and gold we made 1. Today it took us 52 minutes and 7 trades to get to $115 a contract. And we took a total of 12 trades. 12 big trades. On the month, so we were up, I think we were up $150 is what it came out to. Alright, because this is 150, this is minus 10, and that's plus 10. So it was $150 a contract is where we ended up the morning. Now, let's see. On the month, we're up $3,753 per contract. That's over 19 trading days, averaging $197 a day. If if you apply an $8 commission to every trade we've taken, you'd have a net profit of $1,473. And if you applied a $5 commission, you'd have a net profit of $2,328. On the year, we're up $34,632. That's over 141 trading days, averaging $245 per day. Okay, $245 per day. Now, if you have not taken a free trial with us, just go here to the homepage at CFRN.net. In the right-hand column where it says register for a free trial, put in your name, put in your email, click on register for a free trial. When you do that, you'll be sent a confirmation link. You must click the link. Okay, click that link. Don't forget. Click it. Click it. Anyway, yeah, next we're going to go on to the actual trades. I'll start out with the YM because it's way over on the left. Okay. On the YM today, we had just a few trades. Looks like I missed a few in here. But our first trade was a break even right there. Then we made 16 ticks on this one. I was hoping we were going to get our goal for the day. It came within 1 tick of it right there. Then the dang thing pulled back on us and took us out at plus 16. And we stopped out here and gave 8 of it back. That's how we ended up at plus 8 on the day on the YM. Yeah, I must have. I don't know what was going on that I didn't end up taking this trade right here. And then we get into the break. And during the break, yeah, there were some trades in here. A long trade right there. Another long trade there. That would have been break even. And that was about it during the break. Okay, so we were plus 8 on the day on the YM. Gold. Gold started out really choppy. And look at this whole section right here, from here to here. It's like the first half an hour. It did nothing. Okay, then right in here we had a short trade that we missed, another short trade that we missed, a short trade here that we got 1 tick profit on, another short trade that we missed, and a break-even trade. Now look down here in the slingshot. You see those nice, that nice level section of green line pulling back, green line pulling back, green line pulling back? Those were all really nice trades. You know, the first one's a bounce off the BBC for that big move down. When the green line gets into the cycle, you expect it's going to pull back and do it all over again, which is exactly what it did for another move down. Then when the green line gets in the cycle, you expect it's going to pull back and do it all over again, which is exactly what it did again. You gotta love that. The symmetry in the markets. Where do you see symmetry like that, huh? Look, there's a leg. There's a leg. There's a leg. And this final leg didn't quite finish. So, it could be done now. Time to change directions, possibly for a short time. But look at the symmetry in that. I just love it. You had the same thing happening over here too, right here. Okay, that was gold today. We're plus 1 tick on gold. Okay, on crude oil, we had just a couple of trades, these two right here, and both were break even. Some of the guys stayed in this one and stuck it out and did really well with that. But then it was just messy and sideways in here, so we didn't do anything. During the break, even during the break, there was nothing in there. Still nothing. Okay. Soybeans. This is where we got our goal for the day, right here on the soybeans. All right, we missed this first trade. Actually, we missed this first trade, this second trade. But we jumped in on this one, and we got 10 ticks profit on that one. Okay, then we got 2 ticks profit right here, and a break even over here. Let's see, there was a short right there that closed below the MA1 right there, so it would have been a break-even trade. Then over here, it's possible you could have taken a momentum short right there, but that's all during the break. Okay, other than that, nothing. Now on the euro, let's go here to the euro. What do we take? How many trades did I say we took today? 15? I don't think that's right.
I don't remember.
I'll go look in a minute.
Facebook crushes earnings, hits record high.
12 trades. What, it hits record high?
Facebook.
Oh, crushes earnings and hits record high. Okay. That's good. Good for one of my friends who was in on the IPO.
Yeah.
I think he had a couple thousand shares. Anyway, right here, we had a break even on the euro, and then right here we stopped out. So that was -8 on the euro. -8 on the euro was $50 a contract. Okay, then we just blew it right in here. We didn't take the trade. Yeah, I missed it for some reason. And there was a possible long trade here that would have been a break even. This would have been a break even too. If we would have gotten short right here, it went 4 ticks into profit there, stop would have gone to break even, and we'd have been out of break even, waiting for it to put it in a lower swing. But anyway, that was it on the euro. During the break, it really didn't do anything. Okay, really didn't do anything there during the break. So let's go back. Now, if you have not taken our free trial, then I wonder if we can put anything in this side of the page. Big thing. This is daily double. Blink, 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 blink. Anyway, just thinking out loud. If you have not taken our free trial, go here to the home page at CFRN.net. In the right-hand column where it says register for a free trial, put in your name, put in your email, click register for a free trial. When you do that, you'll be sent a confirmation link. You must click on the confirmation link. Okay, if you don't click that link, you don't get the free trial because we don't know you took the free trial. And right in here, we were +12 on soybeans, -8 on the euro, +8 on the YM, and +1 on gold. Right. On the month, we're up $3,753. That's over 19 trading days, averaging $197 per day. On the year now, we are up $34,632. That's over 141 trading days, averaging $245 per day. $245 per day. Okay, this month is a little slow compared to last month because of the RNC and the DNC that kind of choked the markets up there for 2 weeks. So this month was a little slower. Yeah, we had these 2 rough days last week, and the rest of the week, well, I think we had one good day, one outstanding day. The rest of the days were all good, but one was outstanding, and maybe 2 were outstanding. But anyway, I'm not making excuses. We still made money. And that is it. With that, I am going to shut off the recording, and we can head back out to fabulous Phoenix, Arizona. Land of the fan right now.
Land of mini fans.
Speaking of fans, did you see that email from Thomas? There was, I know we've gotten.
Sure.
Okay, I'll go find it and I'll send it to you.
Well, I might have got it. I don't know. I just haven't. I've been
He's going to be in
afraid
the area.
I'm afraid to look at my email all morning because so many people want so much help, and we're going to talk about that today.
Here it is right here. It was on July 27th. I'll forward it to you right now. He's going to be in the area next month. Well, in September.
I repeat.
There.
I do not have an account with. What is PYPL?
Or your...
I got an email from a Jennifer who says she don't have to. I don't have time to go into PYPL. I don't have an account.
PayPal. PayPal. That's what she's thinking.
Oh,
Or saying.
okay.
PayPal.
Well, Jennifer, we wish you all the very best.
Yep. Okay. That's...
Okay. In fact, I will say we wish you all the very best on your trading journey.
How did I know you were going to say that?
Yes. It's hard to get mad at somebody when they bless you. especially if you mean it, and I do. So there.
Why can't I do anything?
Yeah, why can't you do anything right? No, just kidding.
Oh, it's not so much right. I'm trying to change
I hear stuff like that
something in
sometimes.
this column.
I think it's called menopause. I don't know. Men go through it too. So ladies, don't get upset. Okay. Did you send me an email? Oh.
I did.
Oh, trip. Oh, Thomas coming to town.
That's what I was talking
to
about.
tell you that my wife and I will be in Phoenix the evening of Saturday, September 17th through Tuesday the 20th, God willing. How long is that? That's
It's a month and a half.
Still 2 months, yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's a month and a half from now.
We'll be flying from Vegas on Sunday night. So we can go to church with you on Sunday morning. That's awesome. I also plan on hanging out with you for a bit on Monday and Tuesday during the trading room. Gee, Thomas, that's a little difficult because of the way my studio's set up. It's not really a studio built for two, but we'll talk about that. And he said if that's okay with you. So we'll see how it goes. I could set him up at the... I have another workstation. I could set him up there and he could listen in. But actually, my office is quite stunning right now.
Stunning.
My wife and daughter, I didn't open my screen. While my back was turned, my wife and my daughter came in and did the female thing. Well, that's not fair to say.
Yeah, that's risking it right there, man.
They cleaned it up.
Say that in front of the wrong person.
They cleaned it, boxed it, filed it, labeled it, and it's pretty. I feel pretty important, you know. But the word says, "Don't think too highly of yourself." So I make sure I don't. But so that's a great. I'll wait until after the show when I can give Thomas a good answer.
Well, and he'll probably do the prayer tonight in the partners meeting too.
Oh, that's right. And again, to any of you in the Phoenix area, where I go to church, we had a storm blow off half the roof, a microburst last week, and the insurance adjusters and the crew have been all over it, working on it, and we still had church there Sunday because it's covered with plastic and the ACs were blowing. But standing invitation to join me any Sunday for church. We start at 10 a.m. We have a nice spread before church, starting about 9:30. Coffees and juices and stuff that'll make you fat, and fruit for the children who shouldn't be eating donuts. When I was on the board, I voted for them to get rid of them doggone donuts because they're not good for anybody. I said we could have fruit, we could have all kinds of, healthy things for people. And, yeah, but older people want donuts on Sunday mornings. Okay, I gave up that fight. But anyway, so anyone in the greater Phoenix area, it's a standing invitation, 10 a.m. It's called Church for the City. It's one church, 3 locations. We do a Saturday night service out in Santan, which is about a 45-minute drive from Phoenix, and then Sunday morning, 10 to noon. The first hour is praise and worship, and then announcements, and then about 30 to 45 minutes of the word. It's a great time. I've had partners come before. Stan and his wife came, had just a great time. So it's standing invitation to everyone in the Phoenix area, and even those who want to fly here all the way from Florida just to go to church with me. No, actually, he's on a little vacation, but he's going to stop in here. Okay. There's something I was going to tell you before you left. Oh, recap of the recap. That wasn't it, but anyway.
Okay, recap of the recap. Today it took 7 trades, 52 minutes, and 115 minutes. And I am going to be giving you a new spreadsheet. I know that word scares you. Okay, I'll just call it a new list.
Yeah.
Okay, that's got everybody that went through PayPal.
Oh, so I can send them the link to the
Yes.
secret channel. Ah,
Yes.
beautiful. Okay.
Okay.
That's fantastic.
As of now.
Okay. All right then. Well, I know you got to go do your thing, and I'll watch. As soon as I get done with the radio show, I will get those emails out to those folks. Now, as that list grows over the coming days, will you be able to separate it so I'm not resending it to the same people, or?
I think so. I mean, if we just note, like it was 12:15 when I did my last grab,
Yeah.
and anybody that comes on after 12:15 today will have to add
Okay.
tomorrow.
Okay. And during the show today, I'm going to go through that, kind of walk through that email that I put on the Google Plus page and that I sent out last night, so that if anyone has any specific questions, I can answer them for them. And have a safe flight.
Thank you.
And are there any emails answered or unanswered that I need personally to address that you saw?
Not that I have seen as of yet.
Michael said something in the trade room this morning. He was going to go over trade setups this morning. Some of the students were only trading when the chart showed a certain pattern. There were less trades but better percentages. Can we go over that in the partners meeting tonight? Oh, that went to support, so you got a copy of that.
Okay, let me just look at support here.
From JT, yeah.
I don't have a copy
Even
yet.
though I showed you yesterday how to open the two together, see, once I have the two open together, like you open your regular one and then you open support, they all come into the same inbox on mine. I don't know if I did. It's not like I have to jump over to support to see the ones that came to support. They all come in to the one place. But
Yeah.
if I go over to the support one, only the support stuff is there. So anyway. Okay. All right, guys. Michael's taken off. You know how to reach me. We're going to talk for a moment about. Now, everybody wants to be a millionaire. That used to be part of the American dream. Question is today, is $1 million enough? You know, now, of course, a lot will depend upon your lifestyle, the house you've chosen, what kind of payments and bills you have headed into retirement. I think for the average American that has a dual income household in the $50,000 range, which they say that's average, I think probably for you, $1 million is sufficient. Hope the day may come when you actually can get some interest on that money. So you got to figure out how you're going to deploy it, what you're going to do with it. Your best bet is probably to just do a no-load index fund. It's not exciting. You'll average 8% a year. You might catch a 20%er. You might catch a 5%er. But it's a pretty steady flow. But you talk to a licensed professional about that. In fact, you can talk to Bert about those kinds of things. 866-928-3310. While they may not be his specialty per se, he can certainly well advise you, and he's licensed to do so, and he knows people. He knows people. All right, now the 16 industries. That's just what I want to talk to you about. The 16 industries that, if you do want to retire as a millionaire, if you think that's going to do the job, 16 industries most likely to make you a millionaire. They're the consulting firm Emini, in its annual World Wealth Report, broke it down. They asked experts which sectors would create the most high net worth individuals, people worth more than $1 million, excluding their primary residences, from now until 2025, and collated the results into a list. Almost every industry made an appearance, though some are a lot more lucrative than others. Now, I'm going to click on this so that it all comes as one page, and I'm going to put you guys on hold for just 1 second, and I'll be right back. What? Honey, I can't come out there and watch you. Does brother let you go out by yourself?
Yeah, Mommy just has me stay in my distance.
Yeah, okay, just please, honey, don't interrupt my... Just please don't interrupt the radio show, okay? Alright, that was just a short break. Okay, here we go. I'm trying to do this as one page, because otherwise it's creepy. Alright, number 16, accommodation and food services. Just 4% of the experts thought these sectors were going to be in the top 3 growth industries to make people rich. Still, McDonald's won't mind. Its share price has doubled over the past 6 years. You know, I'm surprised to see that in there, because I've been in the food services industry, not just as a burger flipper at Hardee's in high school, but my wife and I, at one point in our life, owned we owned Mystic Pizza Deli and Sub Company in the foothills of Portland, Oregon, the South foothills, and it was tough. I mean, it was hard work, but I enjoyed it. I really loved it. My wife, not so much, and if not for an odd turn of events, we might still be there doing it today. But the company that had transferred me there to open a national sales office suddenly needed me back in Phoenix because we lost our sales manager there. We didn't lose her, she just quit producing. So I had to come back and save the mothership, or try to, by the grace of God. And most restaurants, number one, don't make it. And the ones that do make it, it takes 6 years to reach break even. So I'm surprised to see that on the list. Utilities, that's a sector that if you, I don't know how do you get into this? Experts don't seem to have much faith in the power utilities either, with only 6.6% putting it in their top 3 growth industries. Okay, I suppose they're talking about what you should invest in, not what you should do. Natural resources comes in at 14. Now, we're talking oil. Oil, which looks like it's going to break back below $40. 13, transportation. Okay. I talked earlier at the beginning of the show about the Dow Transports and how our old co-host, the Stock Whisperer, used the Dow Transports as his canary in a coal mine to determine what was happening with the markets overall, and it was uncanny. If you start tracking the Dow Transports, you will get a heads up often on the somewhat immediate direction of the market. I don't mean like as in a day trader, but more as in a swing trader kind of idea. Number 12, retail and wholesale trade. This sector is almost completely dependent on consumer spending power and confidence. Right now, only 14% of experts think it will drive millionaire growth over the next few years. Admittedly, not every retail company can be Amazon. Number 11, entertainment and recreation. 15.2% of the experts gave thumbs up to this sector, perhaps because films, music, and video games are in a constant battle against piracy. But recent examples like Pokemon Go, which my son finally got back yesterday from his vacation, and he explained to me what this new phenomena is, which this one video game doubled Nintendo's share price. I mean, it made them billions of dollars, not selling the game, in share price. Their share price went up $1 billion or $2 billion. Proving simply that a big hit can make people very rich. It's sort of an augmented reality kind of thing where you're trying to find Pokemon, and when you're out walking on the street, the screen that you're holding in front of you mirrors the street that you're walking on. It's like you can see yourself, your avatar, walking down the street, and it might say that the Pokemon is in your neighbor's backyard. And I said, so, well, son, how does the Pokemon get in the neighbor's backyard? Is there like a team of people in a van that go out and plant it? He goes, no, Dad, there's no real Pokemon in their backyard. It's just geographically, latitude, longitude, that's where, and so you go stand there, and the GPS sees that you're standing in that spot, and you rack up a ton of points because you found a Pokemon. People are walking in front of trains. I mean, it's crazy. $1 billion crazy. Number 10, renewable energy. Fossil fuels will be around a while, but the world's starting to wake up to the fact that it will eventually need a replacement. 70% of the experts saw this as a top 3 growth industry. And anyone who gets in the game now could one day be very rich. Now, my previous co-host, he had talked on the show about investing in some, in a wind farm or some wind turbines, and how they were supposed to generate this energy and it would get sold back to the power companies, and he would make a ton of money. And he said on the radio that it didn't work out. He lost money on that deal. And in the picture I'm looking at here, they're showing those very types of windmills. So maybe the industry has changed to the point where he might have just been ahead of his time. So I don't know. Number 9, aerospace and air transportation. Making planes and flying passengers is still a huge business. Just over 18% of experts said this sector would be one of the big wealth creators over the next decade, though barriers to entry are very high. Yes, to go into the airline industry, to buy a fleet of planes, that's going to cost you a few shekels. Now, to buy some aerospace and air transportation stock, well, maybe not quite as expensive. Speaking of airlines, you can fly to Sweden right now, $200 round trip. Now, I'm sure that's leaving probably from JFK or LaGuardia. $200 to take it's 20 hours to fly, but it's a absolute no frills flight. There's not a peanut, there's not a cup of water. You can bring your own stuff. You can pack a picnic lunch. They don't have a problem with that. But it's cramped and it's crowded, and they may charge you to go to the bathroom. I don't know. But I've taken those kind of flights. I've taken you know, these 20-hour time. I've flown to Africa. Let's call it what it is. And it's grueling, man, to be on a plane. Now, we had, our flight's about 24 hours, but of that 24 hours, 10 hours is spent on a layover in Heathrow. And a 10-hour layover is just about enough time to get in a cab and go into town, which is a long way, get a hotel, kiss your spouse, lay down, get up, put your clothes back on, hail a cab, and go back to the airport. So we did it once. The second time, we just decided to stick it out in the airport. So that first time, there was a bunch of us, and we split the cab. The cabs there, they're these old, I don't know, are they called lorries? But, yeah, it was an experience. Number 8, agriculture and mining. Much of this demand will be fueled by emerging economies in Africa and Asia. 18.9% of experts say if you want to get rich, it's a good sector to go for if you can afford the high sunk costs. Well, I'm thinking about sending Christopher way out from the orphanage, where we haven't improved the land yet by bringing in water and bringing in electricity, and have him buy some farmland cheap. I'm talking cheap. And we just sit on it because the Chinese are coming for all the available farmland. Russians are coming for available farmland, and prices are going to get bid up, and it's not going to be cheap for long. Okay, and I have boots on the ground there that I can trust. I would not, if, as an individual with no ties or connections to Africa, I wouldn't just go on the internet and, you know, buy some land in Africa. Be like buying the Brooklyn Bridge. Don't do that. If you have someone there who can go and inspect the property and run the proper reports and all that stuff, then you might consider it as an investment. Okay, it is an emerging nation, and it is going to get strong. And I mean, we're churning out every year probably 50 new high school students, and the ones with the top grades, we send them on to university. Highly educated workforce there. But there are no jobs. They're stuck digging ditches. So I'm happy to see the Chinese buying the farmland, because I know it's going to create some jobs, but I don't want to see our kids just stuck with manual labor jobs all their life, because they have a great education, and I want to see their minds put to work. Number 7, education. As wealth increases, most people get educated, which increases wealth. 19.8% of experts saw the education sector as a big millionaire creator, and anyone who's had to pay university fees recently probably won't be too surprised. This is why you see so many advertisements for University of Phoenix on the TV, on the radio, on the internet, because they charge a lot for those classes. They don't pay the professors a whole lot, and they have learned how to take anybody that wants to learn how to become anything and get them a government grant under this current administration that will pay not only for the schooling, but for walking around money, place to live. I mean, it's a cow, big cow, just waiting to be milked. Now, they passed some legislation recently that trimmed it back. I have a buddy who rose up pretty high from a cold caller in the Phoenix College phone room to, he moved up to the room where people call in off the commercials, to the, where he ended up with his own office. He was doing $100,000 plus a year and then the government stepped in and tightened up the legislation, and his salary or his pay, he was commission based with some salary, got whacked to maybe a little over 50, but he lives a simple lifestyle in Hawaii, and he kept his job. He did open up a side business that his wife runs, but he kept the University of Phoenix job. And which, by the way, University of Phoenix has absolutely nothing to do with Phoenix, Arizona, except we have one of their offices here. Number 6, communications. Now this is all how to become a millionaire. For a few years, Carlos Slim, the Mexican CEO of Telmex, was the richest man in the world. So there's a lot of money in communications. 20.2% of the experts say it will make other people very rich in the next decade. Number 5, real estate and construction. As the rampant explosion in the global population continues, India and China are expected to hit 1.5 billion each by 2030. More people need places to live. Well, China's got plenty of ghost cities, so that's not an issue there. 20.2% of the experts recommend getting into construction and real estate if you want to take advantage of all those people. Number 4, manufacturing. It may have taken a battering with the Chinese economic slowdown in 2016, but people will always need things, which means they need manufacturing to make them. Of the experts, 22.3% peg this as one of the top 3 wealth creators, perhaps anticipating a bounce back for China. Number 3, healthcare. The pharmaceutical industry will be a moneymaker as long as people care about staying alive. Though research and development costs are also phenomenally high, 30% of experts saw the industry as one of the biggest wealth creators. So you're probably not going to go out and create a new drug unless you're that guy off that show Breaking Bad, the school teacher. But again, it could be one of the sectors that you invest in. But in a sector filled with a lot of companies, you got to invest in the, out of, say, 50 top-rated companies, you still got to pick the right one. It's like going the horse track or the dog track. You got to pick the one, right? You probably won't make as much, but you're probably much safer getting into some kind of a low load or no load fund that allows you to participate in that industry without having to personally, individually select. Now, if you're really good at timing the market and reading the financial reports of these companies, maybe you could do well that way. The average person is not suited for that. Coming in at number 2, not just the usual tech like Google and Facebook, but also financial technology and disruptive technology like Uber and Airbnb. As the success stories just keep coming, 30% of the experts saw this as one of the biggest money-making sectors. Uber is now the most valuable startup in history. Okay. And number 1, financial services. There's a reason bankers are generally very rich, and 35% of respondents to the World Wealth Report said finance was among their 3 sectors most likely to create more millionaires, with senior bankers on Wall Street and the City of London paid well above $1.3 million annually on average, according to The Guardian. It's still the best industry to get into if you want to make a lot of money and are willing to work hard for it. Well, guess what, my friend? You're tuned into the radio show that pays you to listen. This is the show about number one, okay? You're smack dab in the middle of it. You're up to your elbows. And now we focus on futures and E-mini futures. We don't hate equities much, but I did my time in the world of equities and I'm done, okay? I walked away in 2005, stepped into the world of futures, and while I've looked at options and even made a few options trades, I think futures is my home. Everything from the leverage, $500 to purchase one S&P 500 E-mini contract gives me the value of owning over $100,000 of stock in the S&P 500. I mean, think about it. If you go into your stockbroker and throw $500 down, you say, "Hey, what can you get me?" He's going to say, "I can get you 5 shares of Apple." And you're going to go, "Man, I've been with you for years." "Okay, I can get you 10 shares." Your 500, but you know, that 500, now he's going to go ahead and give you 10 shares of Apple, but you still owe him $500. When you buy that S&P 500 E-mini contract for $500, you control over $100,000 of equity in the S&P 500. You don't owe anybody anything. If you put in a hard stop like we do in the live trading room, you're only risking 100 of the 500 you put up to control over 100,000. And I'm not licensed to tell you about the tax advantages. You'll have to go to a tax professional for that information. So out of this big report and the 16 industries that were surveyed and all the wealthy people who put in their opinion, they said where you and I are right here, right now, is the number one place that you're the most likely to make enough money, $1 million plus, to see you through retirement. That deserves a double bell ring. All right, let us go to our good word for the day. Got my paperwork messed up. Well, some people who meant well got my paperwork messed up. Hang on a second. And, tell you what, I'm going to continue with, I shared with you part of a story from a man who wrote a book. I'm trying to think the name of the book. In a pit with a lion on a snowy day. I'm pretty sure that's the name of the book. It's a little thin paperback. It's very good, and I highly recommend it. I'll give you the title again. In a pit with a lion on a snowy day. So I read to you yesterday about his story playing Little League as a child, and I explained to you why I didn't play Little League as a child. Oh, Mike Reed, is that you? I didn't see that thing flash. Oh my goodness. Oh, Mike, if you're listening via radio, brother, I'm really sorry. I did not see that thing flashing. if you would ding my phone, Mike, if you would make it just go jingle jangle, it would alert me, or just type in the chat box, hey Dwayne, I'm here. Except I don't have the chat box open. So maybe that would be a smart thing to do, Dwayne. Get the chat box open. Okay. Where do you get 500 margin for the S&P? Bill, practically anywhere. Almost all brokers offer that. The broker we use, Daniel's Trading, it's $500. Very common. There are actually some brokers out there that use it kind of as a loss leader. I don't know if you're familiar with that term. You can actually get it as low as $400. Now that $500 price applies not only to the S&P, but also the Dow, the NASDAQ, and the Russell. Okay, $500 per contract. The Russell pays $100 a point. The S&P pays $50 a point. NASDAQ pays $20 a point. The Dow pays $5 a point. Bill says, what about gold or metals? Well, I'll just show you, Bill, because I don't remember them all off the top of my head, but I'll show you. Let me show everybody who uses DT Pro. Bring up this little guy here, go to help, go to contract margins, okay? What that's going to do is it's going to open a page or a window in your browser if you have a browser open. If you don't have a browser open, then what it will do is it will open a browser, okay? So let's go to metals. Now, again, those indices, those index prices are low. They're kind of like loss leaders. When you get into the metals, that's metals, not meats. Those are substantially higher. Okay. The gold that we trade, which is GGC, COMEX. This is the big boy. $3,300. That's your daily margin. Now, it's called the day margin, but the market closes at 5 p.m. Eastern. It reopens at 6. When it reopens at 6, this price is good again. The only time you're ever held or taken to task for the full margin is if I hold an order over from one session to the next. Like today at 5 p.m. Eastern, that will end the Thursday session. Tonight at 6 p.m. Eastern, when the Globex reopens, that will begin the Friday session, and these are back in play. Okay? So that's the gold that we trade. And gold's really the only metal that we do trade. Get into financials, 30-year bonds, because I do send out alerts every night on, and we'll take a look at what happened with bonds today in just a moment. 30-year bonds, 2062. Day margin, 41.25 if you hold it from one session to the next. Now, I have seen 30-year bonds at some brokers as low as $900. Again, they're using it as a loss leader type of thing. So 30-year ZB. Now, if we go to, let's say currencies. Let's go take a look at the euro. 6E. It's $2,000. Okay. So this is how you find out. You can go market by market. Also, when you bring up this page right here, you go to help. If you click contract specs, it also tells you what that contract contains. You know, how many ounces of gold, how many bushels of soybeans, that kind of thing. Okay. Okay. So that helps you. Great. I am the lad. All right. We need to get to the good word for the day. And as I said, I shared with you part of the story yesterday of the gentleman who has a child got hit in the eye with a baseball, and so every time he stepped into the batter's box, that fear emotion came over him, and he would, as the pitcher threw a reflex type of action, he would back out of the batter's box. It's hard to hit the ball if you're not in the box. So we have to overcome those fears. Now, I'm going to continue sharing something that he had written. It was about a year ago, he says, that I was part of a team of NCCers that went on a mission trip to Ethiopia. The week was full of unforgettable experiences, but before going on the trip, everybody on the team was a little nervous. It was during a time of political unrest. We were subjecting ourselves to a variety of third world diseases, and even drinking the water and eating the food was done very consciously. We take those precautions in Mexico. We certainly take those precautions in Africa. My yellow fever shot has expired. I've got to get another one. They're good for 10 years, so. But you got, as long as you got your passport and your yellow fever shot, you can pretty much hit the road and go anywhere in the world. And if you got somebody that's good with a camera, you might end up with a reality show. So, all right. So everyone on the team was a little nervous, but one team member was downright fearful. Okay? Especially when she learned that we were going to camp out in Awash National Park on our free day. We did that too. We took a safari. Oh my goodness. We were in the absolute middle of nowhere. In the plains, the savannas of Africa. And when we pulled up in our Jeeps, there were these most luxurious tents. And the table was set with the finest of china, and we were served the most incredible 5-star chef meal, all prepared out in the wilderness of a nature preserve on the savannah. We slept in these tents that the bathroom, there was no flushing toilet, of course, but you could go to the bathroom, and when you were finished, you scooped in some sand that covered everything, kind of like a cat covers, yeah. And then when it was time to wake up the next morning, each tent, my wife and I had our tent, we were assigned a steward, and he got up before us, started a fire, heated water, and they take this boiling water and they pour it into this container that they raise up above the level of the tent on a pulley system, so that when you go in to take your shower, you pull on the chain and down comes hot water in the middle of the savannah. It was I've spent in my life big money to stay in fancy hotels. We didn't spend that much for this safari, but it was one of the most luxurious things I've ever participated in. It was incredible. And if you run out of water, they'll go get you some more, but I tried to be cautious. I was in the Navy, and in the Navy, when you're out at sea, fresh water is at a premium. So you get in the shower, you get wet, turn off the water, soap up real good, turn the water on, rinse off. It's 5-minute shower. Anything beyond that's called a Hollywood. And if you get caught taking a Hollywood out at sea on a 90-day maneuver, you're going to find yourself doing some extra duty somewhere, swabbing decks, working in the kitchen, something. Okay, so back to the lady that was very nervous. There was political unrest, and when she found out they were going to spend the night out in the middle of this national park, she freaked. Somehow, knowing that armed guards would keep watch all night didn't ease her mind. We had the same armed guards. Neither did the crocodiles we saw in the river or the lions we heard around the campfire. But I was so proud of her because she faced her fear. And because she pushed through her fears, she experienced some of the most amazing memories of her life. Amen. We drove through the Ethiopian outback and went swimming in a natural spring that was heated by a volcano. You don't get to do that every day. We visited a tribal village that looked like it came right out of the pages of National Geographic. Been there, done that, thank God. And none of us will forget our game drive on top of Land Rovers. We did that too. And I got the pictures to show you. In retrospect, it's hard to imagine how many memories she would have forfeited if she had run away from her fears. What fears are you dealing with in your life today? Is it that piece of mail laying on your desk? Is it the report? The doctor's office is called and they say, we have your report in, we need you to come in so that we can talk. Is it that fear? Is it the call that was left on your voicemail from your banker? And he said something about mortgage, and he said something about, a certain number of days. Whatever that fear is, God is bigger than any fear that you can have if you allow him to be. See, so often we take this God bigger than our problems and we stuff him in a little box, a genie in a bottle. Don't do that. Let him be God of your life, all of your life. That includes your finances. That includes your health. That includes your relationships. That includes the talk you've got to stand up and give tomorrow morning before 500 of your colleagues. Okay? God is bigger than any of those fears. She decided to live her life in a way that was worth telling stories about. One of the greatest tragedies in life is the stories that go untold because we don't face our fears. For what it's worth, none of the things she was afraid of happened. Plane didn't crash. She didn't get sick. She wasn't eaten alive by wild animals. The only bad thing that happened to her was getting pooped on by a baboon. Yeah, when you walk under those trees, you need to look up. So, I'll leave it at that. I'm not sure if the baboon was aiming or not, but what a shot. I know that is a nasty, but what an icebreaker at parties. Hey, I got pooped on by a baboon once. Beat that. How many people do you know who can say that? What a story. That is living life to the fullest. We only have so many days here on planet Earth. Yes, we have an eternity with our Creator, but here, in the here and now, our days are numbered, just as the number of hairs on our head are numbered. And so we can choose. We get to make a conscious decision. If I'm going to live the day in fear or despair, worry, depression, or if I'm going to simply say, whatever it is, my God is bigger. So here's my advice. Don't let mental lions keep you from experiencing everything God has to offer. The greatest experiences will often double as the scariest experiences. The defining moments will often double as the scariest decisions. And I know some people think, God, I wish I could do that. I wish I could take a trip like that. I would do that, but I can't. My finances, they won't permit it. I know a lady. I'm so proud of her. She's a widow. Her children are grown now. And she used to go out to dinner every Friday night. But she began to fast her Friday nights. Instead of going out and spending, $30, $40 on a nice dinner, which she deserved, she worked a hard week, she decided to instead put that money away. Well, if you stash away $40 a week, in a year's time, you've got a couple grand. Round-trip airline tickets to our orphanage. You fly into Entebbe. We get missionary rates about $1,500. So not only is she able to pay for her own ticket without having to ask people, she's got $500 spending money when she gets there to buy stuff for kids at the orphanage, to buy souvenirs to bring home. Her life is so rich, and she lives from trip to trip. From the time she gets back and unpacks, she starts planning for next time, collecting up things that she will take with her when she goes. Because we're on missionary tickets, we get an extra bag, a 50-pound bag, and the simplest things like, brand new number 2 yellow wooden pencils. If you just filled up a 50-pound suitcase with those, man, you would bless so many kids for so long. But, we're constantly in touch with them on a daily basis, and so we try to bring the things that they really need at the moment. And sometimes we just bring fun stuff. So here's a widowed woman. She does have a job. It's not a high-paying job, but she's able to live. But she found her way to finance her trip every year, and that's what she lives for. I mean, yes, she enjoys life all year long. She's got kids. She's got grandkids. She's at church every Sunday, every Wednesday night. She is a vibrant part of the body of Christ. But the thing that's always cooking in the back of her mind is, I could take that with me next year. I want to get one of those and take it with me. And when you go on these trips and you there's 800 kids at the orphanage, but you somehow end up getting attached to a couple. They all want to sit in your lap. Somehow you end up building a relationship with a couple. And so over the next year, you're buying them clothes. Then you realize they're growing so fast, and so you're emailing Chris and Agnes, and hey, check with so-and-so, see how big they've gotten and what size they're wearing. Because they all wear uniforms to school. But You know, there's times when they get to wear civilian clothes. And it's just, I'm just trying to encourage you. If that's something that you've wanted to do, but you've had fears you couldn't afford it, or fears of flying, or fears of the lions, or fears of anything, fears of the envelope, fears of the phone call, just know that your God is bigger than any fear. In the words of David White, the price of our vitality is the sum of our fears. Benaiah must have been scared spitless when he encountered that lion. This is the scripture he writes about in the book. But he didn't run away. Evidently, faith had reconditioned his fear because he chased the lion. And it was the fear he felt that made his in a pit with a lion on a snowy day all the more fun to tell ex post facto. So here's my question for you. Are you living your life in a way that is worth telling stories about? We all know people that when we go to a family gathering or an office party, there's the one person that's just, man, all they've got is negative stories. They're complaining about this and that, and oh, the job and the blah blah, and it just, and they don't understand why the group of people, they walk into a group of people, and then they start talking. Pretty soon the group just kind of dissipates. Okay, we don't. And I know that I've gone through periods in my life where, you know, much negativity came out of my mouth. And I learned that speaking those kinds of things into existence, it's not a good way to live. So again, my question is, are you living your life in a way that is worth telling stories about? If not, maybe it's time quit running and start chasing the lion. Satan wants nothing more than to scare the living daylights out of you. But you have a choice. You can run away, or you can chase him away. It's entirely up to you. Maria, and that's our good word for the day. You know what, Maria? That's a great question. I'm going to see if I can get an answer. Hang on one second. Maria asked me if Garrett was coming today. Wait, now, was Ed Corey here last Thursday? He was, wasn't he? Alright, I had forgot to message Garrett earlier. Does anybody remember, is this Ed's Thursday? I'm pretty sure he was last Thursday. I'll send him a little text message. Radio boo-boo. Kind of make him that. Alright, let's see if I hear back from him. Thanks for bringing it up, Maria. The oil man, yeah, he's the oil man. I think he did come last Thursday. I'm pretty sure. But Ed, if you're out there in the audience and you want to come on, I know we would love to have you. So giddy up. All right. Let's go to our Concierge Trade alerts from last night. Now, last night would have been the 27th. So I will get this prepared and we'll get rolling. Review email. Okay, here she comes. All right, on the S&P 500 Emini Futures, alerts went out at 9 p.m. Eastern. So in military time, 12 and 9, that's going to be 1,700 hours. No, that's going to be 2,100 hours. And we were looking on the S&P to be buyers at 69 and sellers at 60. Okay. So the first thing we'll do is we'll get ourselves over to today. And we will drop a line at 2,100. Okay. All right. Buy side was 2169. Swing high was 68.50. So no trigger on the long side. On the short side, we were looking to sell 21.60. So that's going to be somewhere in here. Right there. 21.60. All right. Sell 21.60. Okay. Okay. When you got your email last night, you put your order in. Sell at 21.60. The first 30-minute candle that dropped took, well, the first 30-minute candle pulled right back up and took you into the second candle, so no way you got stopped out. Your swing low is 21.56.50. So if we round that up to 57, that's going to be 3. So we got 3.5 points there. Okay. Now we need 2 points a day to hit our daily goal of $100 per contract per day. The 2420 blueprint is designed to take us from 1 to 20 contracts over a period of 24 months. Price gets back above the trigger here, and down we go again here, this time putting in a swing low at 21.53.50. So 21.54, that would be 6. So that's going to be 6.5 points. Okay. 6.5 times $50 per point. Okay. Now we're creeping back up over 621.60, so this thing could roll over. It could even happen in this candle. Okay, you may very well have another trade setting up right here. A good way to do it is to go down to your 4-tick range chart, get that bearish cross, get your pullback, and then go. Knowing that this is a weekly zone, we overshot the zone here, so depending upon how much energy the market has right now, if you're just able to go from 60, down to this level here, which is 56, that's 4 points. And everybody I know that trades the S&P 500 says any day I can make 2 points, I'm a happy camper. Now, that's the potential for 4. No guarantee at this point. I would watch it, and I would, in my mind, I would determine my point in the sand, or you can just trade the alert. Okay, that's why they're there. Dow. What do we got now at the Dow? Okay, alerts went out. 2100. Okay. All right. We're looking to buy 18,430. Yep, there we go. And the swing high is 454. So that gives us 24 points. Now, we don't get out at the exact swing high or swing low because we trail our stop. The Dow pays $5 per point. The S&P that we were just looking at pays $50 a point. So at $5 a point on the Dow, we need 20 points to be done for the day. Okay? Now, sell side on the Dow, sell 18,390. Okay. You can almost always, your eyes will go to the area where it's bunched up. That's usually where you'll find the number you're looking for, because why? Because important prices in important areas are almost always tested. Sell 18,390. Okay, got it. I was in the office of a title company yesterday, and the office manager was quite rude to me in front of my son. And I was boiling, but I did not lose my cool, I did not lose my temper, I did not raise my voice. I asked for her business card. I asked for the name and phone number of her immediate supervisor. And I already put in a voicemail yesterday to the supervisor. And I'm sitting here debating. Now the courier is supposed to show up with my money that I was supposed to be picking up yesterday, that I was supposed to be picking up Tuesday, that I was supposed to be picking up Monday. And I know that at some point, and I'm sure it's going to be after the courier makes his drop, that the supervisor is going to call and go, "Hi, you wanted to speak to me about so-and-so." I'm not as worked up today as I was yesterday. And I am a Christian. And I do believe in forgiveness. But she in fact, when my buyer was on the phone and I explained to him what had transpired, And she took the phone and she said, what he just said is not true. Now, I'm pretty sure that's the same thing as calling me a liar in front of my son. So, without being vindictive or hateful, I'm simply going to retell the story as it happened in front of numerous witnesses. And the other ladies there, they just felt, you could tell she treats them that way on a regular basis. So, you know, yesterday as I was driving home, I was steamed. If she'd have called me back then, I probably would have just cut loose. I wouldn't have cursed or anything, but you know, it's a new dawn, it's a new day. There's people in the world with a lot bigger problems, but I'm pretty sure that I'm gonna just tell her, you know, if she wanted to be rude and ugly to me, she should have pulled me into a private office, not done it in front of my son. And the fact that she called me a liar when I did nothing but tell the truth shows me an apology, a heartfelt apology. And maybe she could care less. Maybe she's planning on going to work somewhere else. I don't know. We're talking about Chicago Title. Okay, this isn't some, you know, mom and pop shop. Actually, you get treated really nice at mom and pop shops. But I've done business, a lot of business with Chicago Title over the years. Not that location, but you know, bought and sold a lot of property. And I was just very surprised. So unprofessional. Now, I have to think, you know what? You don't know what problems she's having in her life. You don't know what the last phone call was that she just received. Someone could be sick. Her job could be on the line for having a bad attitude. You never know. So, yeah. I'll pray about it as I'm talking to you. All right, 18,390. We make our first drop down to 356. So let's just call it, let's round it up to 60. That way we can do quick math and call this 30 points. You only need 20. There's 30. Okay? And then important prices, important areas. Price gets back above the trigger. By how much? It gets above the trigger by 1 point. That's all it takes. Gets up to 91. So from 90 down to the swing low at 1293, basically we got 97 points. So if you called it 100, which it's not, and we don't get out of the swing low, but at $5 a point, 100 points would be 500 bucks. So it's going to be less. In fact, if you throw the indicators on there, I say if you throw the indicators on there. Okay. Black step line gets on the north side of the MA1. This is a short, and so you exit on the close of this candle. This candle closes at 335. So 90 minus 35, you still got 55 points, okay? No guessing, is this the low, is it not the low? I mean, yeah, you almost whacked it in half, but hey, 55 points when you only need 20 if you're trading the blueprint, that is tall cut, all right? Next, we'll just work our way right across the bottom here. Oh, is it crude? No, it's gold. Gold that we rolled today. This is gold. We rolled gold to December. And so when I sent out the one trade a days, it was for GGCZ. The alerts last night were for Q, and tonight the alerts will be for Z. Okay, because as you can see, I didn't get the heads up in time. There's not a lot of volume here. In fact, I'm surprised nobody gave me a heads up sooner. I'm going to put you guys on hold 1 second. I'll be right back. Yes, sir.
I'll let you know, when we were replacing that PVC, we found a crack in the oil pan. I'll talk to you a little bit about that later. Yeah, so I sealed it the best I could, but that's the coil. There's like a plastic pan on the inside that's cracked. Once I cleaned everything out, there must have been debris or something blocking it, so it wasn't drifting out of there. As soon as I cleaned all the debris out, the water got to the crack and started seeping out. So I sealed it with a bunch of stuff, put a screw in it. It's only temporary, it's not going to last. Tom's going to look up that information and get back to you guys on that. Some other...
Tom Bazzelli?
Yep, Bazzelli. That's who I work for.
Yes, that's his truck out there. Okay, are you supposed to bill me now?
I don't know, Tom didn't give me any information on that, so I assume he's working with that with you guys.
Okay, well, I'll see him Sunday at church,
Yeah,
so
so you guys
I'll
will work
give
that
him
out.
a check or
Okay.
give him a credit card or something.
Okay.
I'll call him in a little while and ask him. I give him a credit card over the phone.
Okay.
So, but that's fine. That doesn't get you in any.
No, I'm fine. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I texted him earlier. He didn't
Okay.
send back, so I guess he
All
got
right, and so now both ACs are working?
Yes. Yeah. In fact, I've been running the other one for quite a while. I had that one off for that little bit to look at that coil, but it's true.
That's our hero. We got air conditioning downstairs
Yep.
tonight? Yes.
Yep.
Thank you, sir.
Sure. Thanks a lot.
Appreciate it very
You're
much.
welcome. God bless you.
God bless you, brother.
Yay, now we don't have to have those two freezing cold fans down there, which make them really cold.
Okay, sorry about that. That was my air conditioning man departing, who, while he was up there, found even more stuff. Were there trade alerts last night? Yes, Bill, we are looking at those right now. That's what we've just been covering. On the S&P, the alert was to sell 2160, dropped 3.5 points, and then we got back above the trigger, and that triggers the second trade. Gave us 6.5 points on the Dow, 24 points on the long side, which if you're trading the 2420 blueprint, that 20 points is what you need per day on the Dow, if that's the instrument you've chosen to trade. And then the first leg down, 30 points, back above the trigger, 97 points, which brings us up to gold. Now last night, because I didn't get the heads up until today, I sent out August gold. So we're going to have to look at August gold for now, because that was the alert sent out. Tonight's alert will be GGCZ. Henceforth, everything we do will be trading December gold. Okay? All right. 2100. Okay. And we were looking to be buyers at 43, sellers at 36. So If we bought 43, alright, there's 43, and then sellers at 36. Sellers at 36, right here. Okay. So a buyer at 43, we put in a swing high at 44.30, so that would be $130 per contract. Okay. And then selling here at 13.36, our swing low. Yeah, there's a pretty good little pullback there. Let's go right here. The low is 31. So from 36 to 31, that's $500 per contract. Available. Okay, and that's gold. Gold. All right, let me write it in real quick. Now, again, tonight when the alerts come out, it will be GGCZ. Last night was our final night on August. I should have changed it last night, but I didn't, so it's okay. There's enough volume to support what we did today. Bold. How about gold? All right. Moving right along. Now we're on bonds. ZBU. Okay. 2100 is right there. Okay. All right. Bonds. ZBU6. Buyers at 73.21. Sellers at 70.31. Okay. Let's see what we've got here. 173.21. Well, that's not a pretty picture, but it's the truth about trading. Okay. It may be a stop out. 173.21. Yep. Okay. So let's just label it what it is. We have a lot of $1,000 per contract days in bonds, and some days bonds are a little bit tricky. Now, the short side on bonds was way down at 70.31, and that didn't trigger. So today was just a really quiet, weak kind of day in bonds. Had 25 ticks yesterday at 31.25. Oh, I measured this here, 72.04. $73.04. Right there is $1,000 per contract, and we got there in the 2 o'clock hour yesterday. So $173.04. $73.04, and we got a 1K per contract day. And of course, it continued on further. And the day previous in bonds, a lot of two-sided action. So bonds have just been great to us and for us for quite some time. I would have to go back and look at my work, but I'm almost thinking now I might have misprinted the short side on bonds. It's so far down, but I was probably just being cautious, that's all. So we got to stop out in bonds today after $1,000 per contract day yesterday. And what's nice is, you see, we hit that 1,000 before we hit this major pullback. Now, we did have this pullback, and so probably should have left that number there, but we'll just press on. GCLU, Crude. Now, yesterday we couldn't take credit for this because it happened during the crude inventory release, all right? And we teach everyone in our mentoring program, when there's a major economic news event, rather than trying to guess how it's going to come out, and then on top of that, guess how the people are going to react to how it comes out, get some popcorn, climb up in the bleachers, watch the action, and when things get back to normal down on the field, then you get back in the game. It's the only way that really makes sense. Okay? So 2100 last night. Where's that going to be? Right there. Okay. $2,100. All right. So what we didn't get in bonds looks like we just might get in crude. Come on. All right. GCLU. A buyer at 42.40 and a seller at 41.90. We never made it to 42.40. We made it to 41.90. Important prices, important areas, almost always tested. Sell 41.90. Okay. Now, if this thing gets down to 40.90, that will be $1,000 per contract day. It's not there yet, and no guarantee that it will get there, but it's certainly within striking distance. Okay? All right. This first little drop here, based on how I teach you where to put your stop, if you took this trade, you did not get stopped out. The first real move took you down to a swing low. Did the courier just deliver that? Oh, thank you so much.
Because I saw him, so I ran down.
Very kind of you. Did you have to sign anything?
He just asked my name.
He just handed it to it.
He just asked my name.
Well, you've got an honest face. Thank you, sweetheart.
Minnie. I'll need to.
No, that wasn't my secretary. That was my daughter. Who's becoming my secretary over the summer here. So, anyway. Let's see if they got the math right. They did? Awesome. Good job. Okay.
Wait, I go play at the park. I could put on a hat.
Put on a hat, put on sunscreen, don't talk to strangers.
No
And-
one's
and-
up at this time.
And come home in 30 minutes and tell me you're all right. All right?
That means checking in. I'll make sure
Yeah.
to check in.
It's called checking in. Thank you. All right. So, first move down, we got to 66. So that would be 24. Yeah. All right. So that's $240 per contract. I'll write it this way this time. 24 ticks times $10 per tick. Okay. Up we go, and then back and forth, and we're not getting stopped out on this move, and it's taking us down to swing low 4104. So 90 minus 4, 86. So this is $860 per contract available. Now, all of our subscribers receive the exact same email last night. Don't expect you to get the full amount because you're going to trail your stop, but I want you to take a look at this. Okay. I'm going to have to blow that up a little bit. Okay, here's the rules. The step lines, because it's a short trade, the step line has to be on the north side. Oh no, it's not. It's not a close call at all. Step line has to be on the north side above the MA1, and then you need a green candle to close above the step line. And this is not green, and so using the indicators, you're still in this trade. Okay? If you're using the indicators to trail your stop, then this may push down, and you very well may end up with your $1,000 per contract day in crude. If not, it will do what it does, and it'll tell you when it's time to exit your position. Okay? We'll leave that running. We'll look back in a minute. ZSX. Okay. 2100 right there. Okay. Soybeans. ZSS6. We wanted to be buyers at 98 and sellers at 90. We never hit 98, but we had a chance to sell them at 90. In fact, we had a bad chance, then we had a bunch of really good chances. I'll explain exactly what I mean by that. Okay, sell 990. market reopened here. This came, this was the 9 o'clock candle, 30 minute candle. And it jumped over here and it just got down to swing low was 989. It's like 3 ticks. Now, where would you put your stop? If you were trading with me, you would not be in this trade. Okay? But because you have to trade these on your own, I can't be in everybody's office every day. I'm gonna just call it a stop out. Okay? It really isn't, not based upon the way I teach you to set your stops, but because you're not all had the benefit of spending one-on-one time with me yet, we just call it a stop out. Not a problem. 990 down to 987. Okay, that's 3 points. Three times $50. Okay. All right. This one dropped from 90 to 98 and a half. That's 1.5. But based upon where your stop placement was, you didn't get stopped out, so why even write the 105 or the 1.5, because you're still in the trade. Here's where you might have come out of it at 986. That would be 4 times $50 per point. Back above the trigger, down we go again. This time we get a low at 980. That's 10 points at $50 per point. That's $500 per contract available. What would you have had to have done to take advantage of that? Put the trade on. I mean, that's really what it comes down to. When you get the email, you either put the trade on or you don't. You either make the money or you don't. And of course, you're not going to get all 500 because you're going to get stopped out when it starts pulling back. Okay? And then above the trigger, down we go again. Let's just count this one here. Let's be very conservative. 974 and a quarter. Let's round it up to 75 to 90. 75. So that'll be 15. Which would be $750 per contract available. And if you've already graduated from the mentoring program and you're trading multiple contracts and have a higher daily goal than we might have, I mean, there's $150 and there's $200 and there's $500 and there's $750 and a stop out, which if we were trading together, we wouldn't have taken the trade, we would have gotten stopped out. Okay? Okay. Getting close to the end here. NQ 2100. I didn't like the look of the NQ last night, but I had to put a trade out, so I did. Let's take a look how much damage we did. In Q, we want to be a buyer at 47.15 and a seller at 46.95. A buyer at 47.15. Okay. Not so horrible. 47.15. Okay. Buy 47.15. Swing high was 47.2150, so that's 6.5 points. 6.5 times $20 per point. Okay, so that's a little over $120. On the sell side, of the NQ, we're looking to sell 46.95. It's way down here. $46.95, right on the money. Yep. Okay. Sell 46.95. NQ pays $20 per point. There's 4 ticks to a point, $5 per tick. Okay, our swing low was 46.8950, so 89.50. Let's just roll that up to 90, being very conservative, and that gives us 5 points. Okay, and then here roll that up to 92, that gives us 3 points. Now when I roll these numbers, when I average them up, I always go conservative, alright? And that's kind of pretty much it. Oh, Russell. Oh, I've had a couple of questions on the daily double. Will I include the Russell? Well, that's a difficult one. I still include the Russell on the Concierge and on the one trade a day, because I've got some private equity clients that have been in those markets for a very long time, and they would be very unhappy if I did away with them. But because the daily double is a brand new product, I don't have to put anybody into the Russell. If you're going to participate in the daily double, and if you want, now it's going to be the best 2 trades I spot each day instead of a straight 8, okay, or the straight 2 that you pick on your daily, on your one trade a day. Now some people take all 8 of the one trade a days, and that's fine too. But this is going to be the 2 that I see setting up a potentially trigger within the next 5 minutes. I will hear out any request to include the Russell if it looks like a good trade. Now, you can place the trade with your broker, even, I think, even if you're not paying for the data. but I could be totally wrong. So talk to your broker and say, hey, I have a subscription service, and occasionally a Russell trade will come through. I'm not subscribed to the Russell data. Can I still submit a Russell order? And I'll be honest with you, I don't know the answer to that question. So as you guys find out and let me know, that will help me to make my decision. Okay. All right. Moving right along. Russell, 2100. What did I do? What did I do? What did I do? 2100 right there. Okay. Okay. So there's 2100. And on the Russell, which pays $100 per point. A buyer at 18 and a seller at 14. Here's the buying at 18. Try that again. Here's the... I messed that up real good, didn't I? Okay, what's the swing high right here? Tell me it's not 1218. It's 1218.1. Okay, this could have resulted in a stop out for somebody. Okay, it's the truth about trading. Over here by 1218, and we hit a high of 1220. So that's $200 per contract of it. Okay, not going to get it all as you start to pull back. You're going to get stopped out, but you only need $100 per contract to be done for the day. Not in all the different markets, just in one market. Sometimes people get confused about that, especially new people. Oh my gosh, I got to make $100 in every one of these markets every day. No. You got to gross $100, 10 trades or less in one market. Or you could get 25 out of this market, and 50 out of that market, and another 40 out of this market, and you're done for the day, and you're a little more than $100, and that overage carries over to the next day. It carries forward in the kitty until you need it on a day. Okay? If you have questions about that, I'll be happy to go into it in the partners meeting tonight. Which reminds me, tonight is Partners Workshop. If you've been on the trial for the past week and you see all that's happening and you've been seeking and searching for an awful long time, and the time has come for you to, kind of give up on the gurus and the crystal balls and all the other kinds of things, and to just hunker down and learn how to trade. Learning how to trade is like learning how to drive. It is a life skill that no one can ever take away from you. It's yours for life, okay? So if you don't have the email that gives you the information, tells you how to become a partner, send an email to support@cfrn.net, and we'll send you out the information and the paperwork this afternoon. We can get you your credentials, and you can be in that partners meeting as soon as tonight. The 90-day mentoring program You get 2 hours a day in the live trading room, Monday through Friday, 9:30 to 11:30 for 3 months. You have access to the members area of the website, which has over 1,000 hours of live training and live trading videos. You get the weekly trading zones every Monday morning at 6:15 a.m. Eastern, well before Wall Street wakes up for the day. So a lot of partners grab their points for the day before the street is even awake. Okay, that could be you. Now, above and beyond all of that, you have access to unlimited private mentoring for as long as you are an active partner. You also own the indicator set for life, including any upgrades and updates that should come along. Okay? Now, I said as long as you're an active partner, you have access to the unlimited mentor one-on-one. At the end of your 90-day mentoring program, you're covered through all that. If you want to stay joined at the hip, if you want everything to stay the same, you want to come to the workshops, you want to come to the trading room. A lot of the traders just come to the trading room not because they're trying to, shadow Mike's trades. They know how to take care of their own trades now. It's just, hearing some other voices, some camaraderie, somebody that you can ask a question if you have one, or you can share an opinion with if you have one. A lot of guys, and so there's a monthly maintenance fee, $75 a month. You still get the weekly trading zones. You still have access to the video library in the members area of the website. And no matter whether you choose to continue with the monthly maintenance, you own the indicator set for life. Okay, so that's all yours. It's a fraction of what some of these outfits charge. I don't know how much they care about your success. I know how much Michael and I care about your success and how hard we work to see that you are, in fact, successful. You're not a number. You're not just another file in the cabinet. In fact, I don't even have a cabinet, but I think I got some file folders somewhere. We're family. We're a community of believers who trade for a living. If that's something is attractive to you and you want to become a part of that, if you don't already have the email from Michael that tells you how to become a partner, send an email straight away to support@cfrn.net, and we will send you the paperwork you need so that you can get signed up and be in the partners meeting tonight. Okay? All right. So, what was the sell side on the Russell? 14. Okay. Lost track of it for a moment. Okay. Now, this might have got you into a little bit of trouble. Maybe not. The swing low here was $13.20. That's $80. Okay. You might. Well, we already talked about the fact that you might have got stopped out on this. Okay. Now, I hope you didn't get stopped out way up here because you got triggered in here. Problem is, I wouldn't have taken this trade because of where I would have had to place the stop. The potential risk to reward ratio, which is a tricky thing because you know the risk, but you're only dreaming about the reward. Not a trade I would have taken. Okay? And if you and I ever end up in a private mentoring session, I'll be happy to show you, teach you why. Okay. Now, on this next move down from 14, we hit a swing low of 1211.1. So that's going to be $290 per contract. Okay, and then this little guy right here took it down to 14. Took us to 1230. So that'd be about $170. Okay. Down. Last day of August goal for us. Bonds, which gave us nothing today. Now look at that. Look at that drawdown. Okay. Now it's going to close back down here, and it's going to keep you in that trade. But what a heart stopper. Okay. I mean, you were still in profit from your entry at 41.90 because you trail your stop in a much different way when you're using the indicators. Are going to tell you when it's time to get out. Now, you almost stop breathing on this one. How much time is left in this candle? 2 minutes. Let's sit here for 2 minutes and watch where it closes. If it closes above the step line, get out. If it closes below the step line, then by the rules, you're still in the trade. Okay. While that happens, let me make sure you know how to get over here. Okay, we got 1 minute. We're going to get a new candle. Looks like you're going to still be in this trade. All right. So, did you have a green candle close above the step line? The answer is no. Now, since you have some pretty sizable gains in this trade, might it not make good sense, especially after that near-death experience, to just get out of the trade, even right here? I think so. I think you're tempting fate. I mean, so you made $700 per contract for the day. Come on. By the time you've worked yourself up to a 4, 5, 6, 7, 10 contract trader, what an incredible day that is. So, yeah, don't put yourself in peril. Just, I don't know, because you can. Because it's not good for man. Okay? Alright. When you type in, you rascal. When you type in emini.cfrn.net, it's going to take you to this page. You then have 2 more days to make up your mind, and you will not be billed at the beta test rate of $29.97 per week until the beta test is over. Step number 1, go to PayPal, click this link, and that's where I need to. I thought I already cleaned that up. Alright, I'm going to hit enter. Now watch what happens. I type in emini.cfrn.net, I hit enter. It turns into the original long, nobody can remember URL. I just did that to try to help everybody out. Okay, so you're going to see this baseball picture, and you're like, well, where's the post he was showing me? You got to click these three little dots, and then it opens up. Go to PayPal, click this link. All right, I got to fix that right now. Okay, well, at least we know the link works. Alright, let's try that again. Yeah, we really know it works now. Goodness. Okay. Now I need to come up here, and I need to edit the post, and then I need to say, step 1, go to PayPal, click this, OK. Okay. Now we're back on target. Click this link and see that your subscription has been canceled unless you've already redone this because you can resubscribe. Now, this is an email I sent out last night to some folks, who jumped on it, and before we realized I had miscounted the days, a ton of people had already signed up, and so we had to kindly ask them to sign up again. So to all of you who had to go through that, I do apologize, but I am known for those kind of blunderhead mistakes. All right? All right. Joseph says there was 2 more triggers on the NQ. Okay, we'll go look at them. So hang on, Joseph, and we'll go take a look at the other 2 on the NQ. Go to PayPal, click the link. I made a mistake. You got it straightened out. Or maybe you just haven't done it yet, so you need to go do that. Now, once you are there, simply subscribe to the CFRN Daily Double. You will not be billed a dime. 0. After 5 consecutive trading days plus 2 decision days, you'll be billed at the lowest price we're ever going to offer for this Daily Double, just $29.97 per week. You don't have to do a thing. If you should decide the Daily Double isn't for you, just be sure to log into PayPal and unsubscribe during that 2-day period before you get billed. Okay? Now, if you subscribe today to get the link, okay, and then you just immediately unsubscribe because you feel all clever, then we will ban you from the channel. Not to be mean-spirited, but what's fair is fair. We're willing to give you a full 1-week trial. You'll get 2 trades a day, 5 days in a row, and then and only then, after you've had an opportunity, and again, I'm going to tell you, trade these in SIM, okay? It's a week. This could bring about a huge change in the rest of your life, and how much time you have to stay glued to screens, and how much more travel time you might be able to have and spend with your family. It's possible, okay? So you're already doing your own thing. or our thing or whatever thing you got going on, you're doing that. So, I mean, if you want to trade these live, that's your business. I can't stop you. My advice is you can trade them in sim. At the end of the week, you go, okay, you get out the ad machine, click, 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 pull the handle, click, 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 pull the handle, carry the one. Wow. Huh. Okay, that worked out pretty good. Okay, and if that's the case, then you're going to make the decision to do nothing, and then on the 1st, you'll be billed the weekly rate, and you'll continue to be billed the weekly rate every week until you decide that you don't want to participate in the daily double anymore. Okay? But again, what's fair is fair. And if you're going to participate in the daily double, if you're going to have access to all 5 days of trades, then you have to give it a fair shake, because, you know, as Mark Douglas writes, there is always in trading a random distribution of profitable and unprofitable trades. Now, those who register today and then cancel today just to be cute, so, you know, I'm never signing up for that crap, you know, I'm just gonna get something for nothing. We just ban you from the channel, see? So that dog won't hunt, okay? So if it's not really something you have a heart for and an interest in, you know, the world's so full of things to do. You just do something different. Learn to play tennis. I don't know. Rescue dogs. I don't know. Wrestle alligators. Do whatever it is people do when they don't trade. Okay? All right, back to this. Now, once you are there, simply subscribe to the CFRN Daily Double. You'll not be billed. I've already covered that. You don't have to do a thing. If you decide this is what you want to do, then on a week from Monday, you'll get billed for your first week. Okay? And after that, you'll get billed week by week by week. So you can cancel anytime, and then the following week you won't be billed. Okay? But if you cancel during the beta, you'll get the la boot. But see, once you're already in, you've paid for that week. So even if you unsubscribe at that point, you've already paid for the entire week, so you'll still get the entire week. Okay? All right. Those who take advantage of the introductory daily double beta price, you will never pay a price increase. Your cost for life will be just $29.97 weekly, or until you choose to cancel. No obligation, no contracts, just state-of-the-art trading freedom. There will be an NDA emailed to you. Now, the NDA, which is a non-disclosure agreement, it's going to be really simple, because you don't have to print it out, you don't have to scan it, you don't have to fax it. You've probably already used it, it's a technology called DocuSign, which allows you to legally sign a document by simply typing your name into a block. Number one, first you type your name and say that I understand that this is the same as if I, was signing with a pen in front of a witness, and blah, 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 and then there'll be like those little stickers. It's a little electronic sticker that says sign here, date here. And when you're finished, you don't even have to email it back to us. It automatically emails itself back to us. And then we store it. So for you, the NDA will be a 3-minute process. You get an email, open it, it'll tell you exactly where to sign. When you've signed the final spot, there's only one spot, it's gone. It will give you a copy, and of course it sends us a copy. It's some pretty cool technology. I used it in a couple of real estate deals here recently, and I fell in love with it. Because all this stuff with couriers running around town and signing documents and this and that. Okay. Alrighty, where are we now? I know Telegram has presented a few challenges for most of us. Amazingly, the more I learn, the more elegantly simple it becomes. I'm going to create a short video right here at emini.cfrn.net, which walks you through the most basic steps. I'm going to show you just enough to make sure you know how to receive the daily double trade alerts. It's all you need to know, and the app is free. Your mobile trading app from your broker is free as well. Whether you're on the job site or at the supermarket, when the telegram sounds, and I'm going to show you when I make this video how to make yours sound like a telegram. You can make it sound like other stuff too, but since it's called telegram, it's just kind of cool to make it sound like a telegram. Okay. All right. Whether you're on the job site or at the supermarket, when the telegram sounds, you simply read the telegram, that's the trade, and then enter the trade into your broker's mobile app. Step 3. As soon as PayPal notifies us you have subscribed to the CFRN Daily Double Beta, we will email you the link to the secret channel. Once you've installed Telegram, open the app, follow the instructions, and then click the secret channel link that we send you. Okay? Once you do that, I'm going to send out some tests over the weekend. And when I do, your phone or your computer is going to make a little noise, and there will be a message that says, I think we've done test 1 and test 2. Well, I think I deleted those, so starting tonight, tomorrow, you'll get test 1, test 2. It even has the ability for me to give you a little audio message. So I might send you a trade where it's written in text, but then I might include a snippet of voice audio that you'll be able to just touch the little microphone, and you'll be able to hear me say, on this trade, if such and such happens, I would be careful, and then I would do this and that. I probably won't do a lot of that because I want to make it as simple as possible. But if there's something that I really think needs to be said and it would take too much space to write it, then I'll do that. Okay? All right. As soon as PayPal notifies us that you subscribe to the Daily Double Beta, we will email you the link to the secret channel. And as soon as you cancel, we will ban you from the channel. Okay, covered that. We're not mean. We're just, we have to pay our electric bill and feed our kids, same as you do. Once you've installed Telegram, open the app, follow the instructions. So we've covered all that. Up through Monday, when the up growls, play ball. You'll receive numerous, this is just to test messages. You don't have to do anything, you don't need to respond. We're simply making sure our channel is broadcasting your message to you loud and clear. Reminder, beta testers are price locked for life. Once the beta test officially begins, August 1st, anyone joining the Daily Double must pay the introductory retail price of $49.97 weekly. It's still a huge bargain, I believe. That has been this whole thing has been a long time coming. I started working on this originally back in December of 2015. So you're in the grocery store, your phone rings, you open the Telegram app, you open your broker's app, place a trade, resume life. Looking for those butter beans that are on special. Okay? One last thing. I am finishing, this was from last night. I'm still finishing up a video here at emini.cfrn.net. It will be short and it will be sweet and it will tell you just enough to put you in the batter's box. Be sure and watch it. Also, until you've subscribed to the Daily Double at PayPal, we can't send you the link. Only beta tester subscribers. See, here's the thing. I really want to put your mind at ease. At the end of 5 trading days, if it's not your cup of tea, you can log in, unsubscribe, and you never get charged a dime. You don't get any more trades, but you don't get charged a dime. So it's not like you have to be clever, and try to hoodwink us, and you don't have to do that, because we're not trying to trick you. We're not trying to trick you into, we're just being as transparent and open as we possibly can. And because we're a community, because we're family, we want people of the same, people who are cut from the same cloth, okay, as a part of our community. And we're not discriminating against anybody. Race, creed, color, sexual orientation, religion. No, we don't do that. We never have. Not in our mentoring program, not for any. We've had a number of atheists. I've had atheists go through the 1 week's free trial and then tell me, it's too bad I won't be able to join up with you guys. And I say, why? And they go, well, to be honest, I don't believe like you guys do. I go, well, what do you mean? Well, I'm an atheist. Oh, okay. Has anyone talked to you about God this week in the live trading room? No. Have you tuned into the radio show? Sometimes yes, sometimes no. I go, so do you feel that we hard sold you on you got to become a Christian or you're going to burn in hell kind of thing? And it's like, well, no. I just didn't think you'd want me if I didn't believe the way you believe. And I'm like, no, I want you even more, because I get an opportunity to live a life that will show you what it is to be a believer. And hopefully the life that I and the other members live and lead will cause you to identify that longing that's in your heart already. That longing that has you at the bar early in the morning, or in the clubs late at night, or chasing, more women than you got fingers and toes, and all these things that we do to try to fill up our life, with race cars, fast cars, big houses. All stuff, no matter how big it is or fast it is, it can't fill up that gaping hole in our heart. The only thing that will ever fill up that hole is God. His grace, His love, His sacrifice. And so, while we're never going to preach at you, we're going to try to live godly lives in front of you, and hopefully you'll see something in us that will maybe not even while you're part of our group, but somewhere down the road, you'll go, man, I want what those guys had. They had a peace about them. I want that. And the good news is, because we're part of a large family, you can step into most any Christian church in America, and you'll hear them talking just like we talk. Now, I know there are some churches out there that have some unusual beliefs, and I forget what the name of that church of the criminally insane down in Florida is, the ones that always go and make a big stink. When we bury a soldier who gave his life for this country, they protest. It's some kind of Baptist, something Borough Baptist church. You know who I'm talking about. I would love to be a fly on the wall after the second coming, when Jesus, when this man, this pastor stands before God. I'd love to hear that conversation. I don't want to be standing too close to this guy, because I think he's going to get smoked. But how is he going to defend himself when he stands before a just and loving God? How is he going to defend his actions? I don't know. It's pretty scary. Okay, so watch the movie as soon as you can. Now, please understand that we're totally buried. We're not going to start sending out free trades until Monday, the daily double. It won't kick in until Monday. And so, if I don't get the link to you today, I'm not intentionally skipping you or ignoring you. In fact, I do want to go through the list as quickly as possible and get you the link so that you know that you're in, and I want to be able to start sending the test broadcast messages so that you can hear it on your phone or on your PC, and you can feel comfortable knowing that, okay, cool, everything's working, I'm in. Now, there will be some things about the Telegram app that will maybe not be intuitive, and maybe you're like, yeah, this video that I'm trying to make, short and sweet, all we're going to do is we're going to show you how to get signed up in the video. Then I'm going to show you how to make what I call the trade room look like mine. You can make yours. There's several different backdrops that you can use. My backdrop looks like the skyline of New York City because, I don't know, it just kind of seems to fit. And the sound that your phone or computer will make when a message comes through, if you don't like the sound of a telegram, I'm going to show you where you can change it, make it sound like, a Tinkerbell or steam locomotive or whatever rings your bell, okay, whatever gets your attention, okay? All right. Only beta tester subscribers will have the secret channel link. Click the link and subscribe at the zero cost beta test price. Watch the movie. And then here's the disclaimer. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future performance. Risk of loss in trading futures, contracts, or commodity options can be substantial, and therefore you should understand the risk involved in taking leveraged positions and must assume responsibility for the risk associated with such investments and for the results That's why every trade I send out is going to have a hard stop. Please use the hard stop. Don't say, well, you know, I don't want to tell them where my hard stop is because they'll run it. I'm just going to use a mental stop. You know, and by the time you drive home from the grocery store and check your phone, you know, you're down several $100s and you want to yell at me about it. Well, I ask you to use a hard stop. Now, if the hard stop's $200 and you get stopped out, well, then you chose to take on that risk. Just don't not use a hard stop, okay? A person who doesn't use a hard stop is a person who doesn't have faith in their definable edge, okay? So, that much more reason during the beta week, trade and sim on your broker's mobile app. Daniel's Trading has their own mobile app. Before we used OEC Broker because of Gain Capital, we could log in with the same username and password. But now there is a branded Daniel's Trading app, and you can log into your demo account, you can log into your live account. It's just cool. You won't use any indicators and you won't have to worry about, you know, what time frame do I put my chart on, because you're just going to punch in an order. You know, buy such and such at such and such a price on a stop. Stop loss, this price. Target, this price. Send order. And then your broker's app will make some kind of little noise that lets you know that your order's been received. And put the phone back in your purse and resume life. Okay? Consider whether trading is right for you in light of your circumstances and financial resources. You should read our complete risk disclosure right here. This is not light reading, so you may want to bring an attorney or two and some lunch. Huh. I'm so funny. Maybe not. Maybe I'm not funny at all. I don't know. But anyway, I got to get out of here, man. We've covered all the markets. I know you heard enough from me today. Plus, I got stuff to do all afternoon, and then I got the class tonight, and so forth and so on. So, without any further ado, let me say to you, thank you so much for tuning in today. Whoever you are, wherever you are, may God continue to richly bless you with His mercy and with His grace. And I'll see you at the bell.
Remember this, there is no greater return on investment than to see a human life changed and given hope. As always, pray hard and trade safe. Any financial information discussed on this show is simply the opinion of our host, Dwayne Reeves, his co-host, and guest. To learn more about trading Emini Futures or to take a 1-week free trial in our live trading room, call 1-866-928-3310. 866-928-3310. Information discussed on this radio program should not be construed as a recommendation to buy or sell any securities. Always do your own due diligence and consult with a licensed securities broker or financial planner before making any investment decision.
Good afternoon, this is Dwayne. Oh, I'm good. I'm good. Yes. Okay. 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 Yeah, I have, my accountant keeps all of that stuff. She's out of town this week. I can send, if you want, I can send my, 2015 year-to-date earnings statement and my 2016, or I can send my 2015 earnings statement and my 2016 year-to-date earnings statement. I can email that over, and if you need something additional, then when she comes back from her vacation next week, yes. Yeah, I've got 15, I've got 16, 14, 13. Okay, so what's the email? Okay. Perfect. Okay. All right. Thank you so much. Okay. Thank you for all your help. I really appreciate it. Bye-bye. Sorry to have to get you involved in that yesterday. Period.
This podcast is sponsored by Trading Post. For a limited time only, try Trading Post online trading rooms or the FX Trader's Edge for free. Visit tradingpostfinancial.com/store for more details.